What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the announcement for the 2024 tins. After 3 years in a row of the flagship product, or maybe ex-flagship product at this point, with Rarity Collection failing, it's interesting to see how much they are shaking it up with a whopping 400 card set list, 50 quarter-century secret rares, eliminating rares in here. Yeah, like years past, there are shakeups, but this one is a lot bigger as Konami tries to find their way with this product. Now, there's a lot of good, a lot of bad, and I'm going to be bringing up the calculator and doing a lot of numbers later, so let's give you the real rundown kind of as fast as I can here, because there is a lot to chew through. Duel Links 25th anniversary hits its stride with this year's 25th anniversary 10 dueling mirrors. Now, I did say I thought there would be another quarter-century secret 10, but I thought it would be rivals and villains. No, mirrored back-to-back, Yami Yugi and Seto Kaiba stand like giants over a series of iconic monsters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series. While they're the world's greatest duelists, Yugi and Kaiba have always been mirrors of each other, Yugi relying on the unity of his team and the power of friendship, Kaiba taking pride in his own nearly unmatched skills. Now, in the OCG, there's two products, and it's quarter century, you have pride as well as unity. So this is borrowing from those two sets directly within these mentions, and we'll see that even further. As always, each 10 will contain 3 mega packs, each with multiple rarities guaranteed. This year's 10 does away with some of the lower rarity slots to give everyone more of the higher rarity people are looking for, including quarter century secret rare and each of the 3 packs. Take pride in your pulls, since we've united them together in higher rarities. Now, patting themselves on the back here, making it sound good, we're actually removing a good amount of cards per 10. We have 24 commons instead of 36 commons. No rares. We do get 9 ultra rares instead of the usual 6, but there go the 3 super rares, so those clump together. We take away 3 prismatic secret rares, and then we gain 3 quarter century secret rares. So in full breakdown, we lose supers and they just become ultras. We lose 3 prismatic secret rares, we lose 12 commons, and we gain 3 quarter century secret rares, which are really just gaining 2 from the last year's, which was a promo, non-plural. Realistically, probably would have been better to just actually put them within the pack, which is what they're trying to do this year, it sounds like. This year's best of 10 picks pulled together popular sought-after cards from a dozen recent booster sets, including Power of the Elements, they're a little late there, aren't they? Photon Hypernova, Cyberstorm Access, Duelist Nexus, which nobody's asking for, Age of Overlord, Maze of Memories, Amazing Defenders, Wild Survivors, and more. Plus, brand new art versions for some of Duel Links' most famous cards, from Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician Girl to Harpy's Feather Duster and Raigeki. We actually know what all of those look like. With 400 cards in the set, this 10 doesn't just have something for everyone, it's got a whole lot of somethings. That's right, a whole lot of somethings is good wording, because it's a whole lot of filler within those 400 cards too, especially depending on how the rarities lay out. Oh, we haven't even started on short prints, which have been infecting the 10s and then clumping. Meanwhile, the 50 quarter century secret rare cards in the set are a trip down memory lane, showcasing iconic monsters and imagery from decades of dueling. So they're promising something from all series so that Twitter doesn't groan too hard of Yugi and Kaiba again. They're gonna groan anyways. It's Twitter. In addition to the 16 cards shown on the sides of the 10s, and more about those later, there were just too many famous monsters to pass up. And you know when they just said more about that later, they're probably seeing if they have to show it before pre-sales end so that they can actually make sales when sales don't pick up. Last year on Megatons, after them flopping 2 years in a row, they were the worst sales ever through my numbers, and I get I am independent, I'm a downward spiraling Yugi tuber, but no, seriously, Rarity Collection did more sales with my code than any Megaton ever, and I thank you all for using code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. And then the Megatons did the worst in the history of the channel since I have started sponsorship, so they are really trying to make that turn around. I feel they're gonna have to be showing more before the pre-order window is up, in my opinion. So we added 34 more cards to the quarter century secret rare pool, and you'll get these in every 10, which we've already covered. Now, if we're going through what's going on with the art cards, here's Dark Magician Girl, Red Eyes, and Blue Eyes. Now, not all of these are mentioned yet, and I feel like there's Blue Eyes too later, maybe, because, you know, they do mention Pride, and that is from here. We also see the Red Eyes looks very amazing. The Dark Magician Girl is doing insane in the OCG, like, really hard to get, and we'll cover that too. And the Dark Magician looks more classic, which we don't find here as much in the TCG4. Now, we also see the Harpy's Feather Duster, which people had a really good reaction to. The Reigeki actually has Sly for slamming it down, which is kind of neat. We do get tuning as well, most likely, if they are converting all the altar art cards and not trying to save a few for later. I can't imagine them trying to use this one to sell a set anyways, but the Dark Magician Girl is doing extremely well for itself and is very hard to pull. Here's Rhyme Style going with 55 total boxes of that set and not seeing the Dark Magician Girl, which is why he's very happy for this 10 announcement, probably. Now, remember, they did actually short print the Alter Art Dark Magician Girl that debuted in the 10s before. You might be getting flashbacks, right? Like, wait, they did a new art for Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician Girls in 10s, and they were all short print. So again, with shorts, they're likely, not guaranteed, but very likely to be impacting these sets. And when we start to break down some of that good old math that I promised we would be doing, well, there's 3 quarter century secret rares per 10, and there's 50 total. But remember also, this is a lower MSRP product overall. So it's $22 per 10, right? And there's usually 12 within a case if we're going by the same system. You multiply that by 3, and it's about where we see a case of boxes usually go for. Remember, boxes also upped MSRP. So it's under $800 for 3 entire cases of this on average, assuming we're still on the 12 per case layout, right? And we did confirm that MSRP of $22. When it comes down to it, though, we're seeing 3 quarter century secret rares per 10 and 12 10s. We would see 36 total of those, meaning in 3 cases, we would see over 2 of each on average, assuming a perfect world of no short prints within the quarter century secret rares themselves. That is a big ask of Konami when it's inside of the set instead of a promo where they think there will be more scrutiny. There's going to be scrutiny either way, but we are still hopeful that we would see about 2 of each on average over the course of 3 cases, and these are still going to be en masse ripped open. Casuals love to go for it. I like the feeling of opening a 10 myself, and with Yugi and Kaiba on the cover, they know that sells, which is why they're trying to put it on there. And with all these classic remix cards in a high rarity that people are actually looking after, I do think that will be a selling point for these 10s to help them with that classic collector aspect, along with the meta aspect, but the meta aspect is struggling for me personally. Now, we go through the past 10s to look at why they failed. They had the past collector aspect in here, but just not enough of that good stuff in the 25th anniversary 10s, with a lot of singles pulled out that should have been in there. In fact, the entire set of Poet, which is now in these 10s, right? We also have the 2022 10s, which really struggled despite some nice reprints because half of the entire front page was short freaking printed, and they double shorted versus the half prints on the Dark Magician Girl, the Blue Eyes, and the Red Eyes. But yeah, you go through the set and there's a lot of amazing looking cards, some of them being a bit late on reprints or the 5th reprint of certain ones. But yeah, a lot of this was short printed up here. The 2021 10s introduced Crossout Designator, which really didn't find its real foothold until later when it started to go up towards $60, and then it got announced for reprint and absolutely failed. When I say these failed, it's price-wise, by the way, and also when we look at the price for what it gives to players and collectors, that's where I consider these failures. If we look at the actual math for this, they're a bit older. Let's go with the newest ones, right? $144 a case, which if you click, that's about what they're going for. This $60 is a 310 bundle or whatever. So we take the platform fees off that these sellers are going to eat. Also, we assume it'll probably be a little over $10 shipping. Maybe you might get a deal for $8 8 something on a case, but 10 to 12 usually, and then you divide that by the 12 tens, and your final price is 9.6, and vendors are likely paying 12 to 13. So they're shipping these out at a loss to get them out, and each subsequent case of 10s did not age well enough or sell well enough to end up going up over time. This is even cheaper, so they're making less, way cheaper, just an absolute flop on the face. And then Dragoon helped sell this one enough to where it actually became profitable, but I wouldn't consider this a good 10. It's Dragoon or bust in the past, and now there's nothing really left over at all to age well. No actual high rarity cards that you want to be after, that kind of stuff. It's just kind of still a stinker in my opinion, and it was on the back of Dragoon that this succeeded, where Crossout Designator did not do that for 2021. The Gold Sark 2019 10s are the sweet spot for me, where you have collectibles, Kazuki Takahashi art that was amazing and given to us, along with promos getting higher rarities for some of the first time like Regeki and Reborn, which is what this new 10 is trying to encapsulate with new arts and high rarities of these collectible cards. And I feel like you do get that collector aspect feel down, but not necessarily the metagame feel. Like Power of the Elements, it's been too long. You're actually seeing almost everything in the set under $20 when we're talking starting with Karakuri and like Kurikara, my bad. Boomer here, actually remembering old archetypes. But yeah, all the sprite stuff's gone down over time. It's nice to get reprints to stop stuff from like Ultimate Slayer being super expensive in the future, but there's not real value to mix in here. It's mid to low. There is some high value in Photon Hypernova with Cashier and Triple Tactics Thrust. When Konami gets overconfident, they like to pull out cards like Thrust to sell it somewhere else though, or short print it, which I'm actually fine with as long as it's in the freaking set. That would be nice. But when they pull it out and then short it somewhere else and then do it again and again, we start to question what's missing from the 10s, and it's been more significant every year than in years past where it's like, oh yeah, it'll be something small missing from the 10s. It won't be that crazy, right? No, it's been really crazy. But Kashtira has some mid-high value, and Triple Tactics Thrust is good. Chaos Angel and Quim have some real value with a lot of middle-of-the-road value between the Despia stuff, and also, you know, we had Dispater being played heavily in Dragon Link 2. Duelist Nexus has like nothing going for it. It'll be nice to prevent stuff like the Synchron stuff from becoming expensive again. Chimera and Unchained are nice, but it's all super low value. And then Age of Overlord has a ton of high-end value, which I thought they might try to skip out on, and they might still pull some stuff out, but here it is listed among the sets. But then you have stuff like Amazing Defenders, which is just super tanked in value. Everything's already been reprinted. Pack filler is going to be rampant. And now each of these sets are going to have more cards within them outside of the commons. I will say a lot of people used to groan and gripe and complain about what ended up in the rare slots. So this is kind of fine to end up doing, but the secret rares better be bangers, and there's still going to be a lot of filler in there. The ultra rares are going to have so many cards get upgraded, which I do think is actually a good change overall, eliminating the rares, but realistically, we just shoved the supers in there, which would have been fine to have too. So the rares going actually is just Konami trying to eliminate rares from this set too for some reason. Maybe try to hype up the side sets even more that have 5 rares, make you miss them a little more. The math is mathing to be pretty bad about this though. We're less cards per set than ever, with more cards in the set list. Now you can take 50 of those away because they're quarter century secret rares, right? Which we already discussed are going to be 2 per every 3 cases. So it's like if you were buying booster cases and you were seeing 2 of that card. That sounds a lot like 2.4 per case secret rares, doesn't it? That's basically what these end up being to a large degree. They're basically secret rare ratios out of core sets, meaning there can be huge value within some of these cards actually, which is what Konami's trying to do. They're trying to create chase cards within these that have true value for how wide open these will be ripped, and then also make greater chase value within here, which unfortunately might actually work as a model and make this a successful set, rewarding bad business practices by offering value to chase after. That's what they want. The 10s ripped open, people going for that hit time and time again. That feeling of I did it, or I didn't, but I'm not going to stop gambling. These tins are poised to be more successful, in my opinion, than the last ones. And with these kind of nostalgia berries going around and having so much to actually offer at the not just Blue Eyes Dark Magician, but having stuff like Regeki and new art Harpies, I do think that they'll be doing pretty well with trying to actually poise this set to sell. The question is, how will it do? We have to wait to see what else they're going to bring to the table. Will cards that are reprinted be only in the Quarter Century Secret slot, also like Chaos Angel? That would be super rough, and I have a feeling they might end up doing that and not only put the anime cards in that slot, but to quote a famous duelist who is on my griping thread on Twitter, 400 cards is insane. I agree. My initial reaction is thanks, I hate it, but I guess we will see. The Quarter Century Secret Rares basically will replace promos, which is cool, I guess. Yeah, the promo pack can damage promos itself, so putting them in the set is better. And they're actually slightly, I think, about the same-ish, a little harder to get per one maybe. However, they seem to be iconic or anime cards, question mark. Definitely going to have to wait and see more before passing real judgment. I wouldn't be going for any pre-orders till we see more. The track record on the tins previously are pretty bad, and if it's still in the pre-order window, it'll be the same price to be able to order most likely, and it's a really interesting spot with the set description, the terrible pack filler, the cards inside to sell it. It is kind of a bit of a waiting game, but that's all the numbers we have for now, as well as the information. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love doing discussions as well, and we'll be doing them more on set drops, along with initial raw thoughts like this. And again, if you enjoy the discussions, like the video, and let me know down below what you think these tins are going to turn out like. Are they finally going to turn themselves around with this kind of model? Will it be rewarded? I'd hope not, but I actually have a feeling that it's going to be.